So we got big news regarding the next Battlefield game, my friends. It's pretty exciting. We don't have much of like any kind of name for it or anything like that, but we do have a little bit of gameplay that we've seen. We also have this whole kind of 5-minute video that EA posted regarding their plans on moving forward with Battlefield, and it all sounds super promising. So I wanted to kind of share it with you guys here in this video. You know, share my thoughts as well, discuss it and all the good stuff. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. Do a variety of gaming content here on this channel, and Nintendo stuff goes on a different channel if you are into Nintendo gaming. So this is really exciting because first of all, one of the first people that appears on screen within the first minute is Vince Zampella, who has obviously worked on Titanfall at Respawn. Before that, he worked on some of the classic best Call of Duty games at Infinity Ward, you know, Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and things like that. So he's got a good, I think, you know, in my opinion, he's got a good vision and a good head. Obviously, now he's just one out of many people on the team, but he is actually the his little job listing underneath his name tag in the video says he's the group general manager for Battlefield. So I think the fact that he has you know, any kind of leading role, part of what sounds like part of the leadership, kind of, if you will, with this, you know, upcoming Battlefield and what they're doing with Battlefield. I think that's promising, just with that alone. And then obviously with everything else going on with all the other kind of minds that are, you know, factoring into what's going on with Battlefield. So basically what they announced is they got 4 different studios that they're going to be combining from across the world, that are going to be working on the next Battlefield. So they're taking basically what they've all kind of, you know, had with their experiences. And again, we got basically Ripple Effect. We got Motive. So Ripple Effect is in LA. Motive is in Montreal, Canada. We have, of course, also DICE. We have Criterion. Criterion, is that how you pronounce it? I believe that's how you pronounce it. So we got 4 different EA studios from across the world. And what's really exciting is one of these studios, I think DICE, is going to be focusing mostly on the multiplayer kind of aspects. You know, I forget who it was, but another one of the studios is going to be focused more on like the campaigns. So yes, campaigns are returning to the next Battlefield game, which is nice because that was obviously lacking in 2042. 2042 had a lot lacking, sadly. And so they're combining 4 different studios and 20 years of expertise on, you know, obviously different parts of you know, different games and whatnot as well. And then, of course, you know, also Battlefield, 20 years of Battlefield experience specifically. And they're kind of putting all these studios together to create the next Battlefield, and then I guess whatever comes out next. So it's really nice to see that EA basically came out of this. They seen 2042 wasn't doing well. They kind of regrouped, figured out how can we come back, you know, how can we come back swinging? How can we regroup ourselves, if you will? So that's kind of what's going on. They got 4 studios, and then they announced something else at the very end of the video, which is going to be called Battlefield Labs. Battlefield Labs is going to be basically an opportunity to play test the game, I guess, if you will. So you can actually, I mean, by the time you see this video, it's probably going to be already full. I'm in a line right now and there's like 20,000 people ahead of me. So it's probably unlikely that you're going to get in. It's probably unlikely that I'm going to get in. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But there's going to be some play testing that's going to be taking place. And right now they said they're in pre-alpha. So obviously, you know, it's still kind of early-ish development. We're probably not going to be seeing this game for at least, probably I would assume like at least another year, if not more, which is a little bit disappointing because the clips they showed at the very end is very, very exciting. But we do got, like I said, a few clips at the end of this video, and it looks really good. It looks kind of classic Battlefield, you know, the Battlefield that people enjoyed the most. I feel like this kind of looks like a modernized, almost Battlefield 4. Like they took about everything that people loved about Battlefield 4 and you know, the earlier Battlefield games, and that's what they're kind of trying to recapture with this. And it just seems like classic, but yet fresh and modernized Battlefield, which is sick because it looks incredible. Now look, I'll be the first to say that I was never the biggest Battlefield fan back in the day, but this is definitely a game that has grown on me over the years. And so, you know, I like to see that they're getting their feet kind of, you know, firmly planted back from what it seems, especially with the state of Call of Duty. Obviously, everybody compares Call of Duty and Battlefield. They're two different games, right? It's like comparing Tony Hawk to EA's Skate. Again, they're two different games. It's just one's more arcadey, you know, Call of Duty's more kind of arcade-esque. And then a game like Battlefield, you know, it's more, it's more, a little bit more simulation. It's not like super hardcore simulation, but more in that realm, right? It's like, you know, again, comparing skateboard games, you got Tony Hawk, which is super like kind of arcade. And then you got EA Skate, which is a little bit more kind of simulation, but still has enough arcade kind of feel to it. And then you got some, you know, kind of more like, harder, kind of more hardcore simulations like Skater XL or Session and stuff. So I look at like these war games in a similar way, right? So it's like, but either way, the point is people want a good, you know, FPS kind of war game, military based game. And Call of Duty's not really been satisfying that for many years now. Sadly, they keep just kind of dropping the ball, especially as we see right now with this current state of Black Ops 6. So it's nice to see that that this is taking place. Again, the gameplay is subject to change, as they say. It's pre-alpha gameplay, but even for pre-alpha gameplay, man, I mean, it looks very promising. And I love the direction that they're kind of presenting with this. I think that they're kind of on the right path. I think that hopefully, from what it seems, again, it's way too early to tell, but from what it seems, I think this hopefully should be a really good Battlefield game. Especially, like I said, we're getting a campaign back, you know. I don't know about you guys. I love campaigns and stuff, you know, and whatnot. So we're getting the campaign back. We're getting, you know, classic kind of look, like at least the gameplay looks classic, but like I said, refreshed, modernized. Battlefield Labs, where it's like, you know, the players are going to be able to get involved. Obviously, you're going to have to sign some NDAs and stuff, right? If you leak anything, you're going to have some, like, you know, legality issues, right? Don't do that. If you get into this, don't do that. You just spoil it for everybody else. It's just stupid. But anyways, so if you do get in, you know, they're going to be taking community feedback as kind of the point, right? They really want to take community feedback in developing this game, and you know, hopefully they like it's a hard balance, right? Because I like that you know, developers do that, companies do that, but at the same time, if you do that too much, then I also think that you start to maybe lose, you know, as developers, your own creative touch. But I also think it's important to also implement that nowadays, especially with like kind of the higher ups, you know, like I call them the suits, if you will, the people who like are not actually developing the games, they're just running the business side of things. They pretty much know nothing about, you know, the creative process, and they just kind of they kind of ruin everything with the over monetization of everything, and they just think they know what they're doing, but they really don't. So I feel like because of that, you know, those kind of people having a little bit more of a strong arm nowadays in the development process, that it is important to have more player feedback as well, especially then. But again, I hope that the developers also maintain their own kind of creative flow, because look, I always say it, back in the day, games in their prime, you know, especially when I was growing up, you know, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, you know, so on and so forth. When games were the best, it was because, you know, the suits, if you will, they were just letting the developers, you know, have fun with developing the games. And I think when developers have fun with developing the games, we, the players, get the best games possible. And then the suits, they get the money flowing in as well, because it's a win-win situation, because everybody's happy, you know, and then you're making the money. It's just like, it's such a simple formula, but they're losing it, you know, in the past kind of decade. So anyways, I'm not going to keep ranting about this, but my point is, I'm really excited about the prospects, the future of Battlefield. It was nice to see this video. I'll link it down in the description below if you want to watch it kind of in its raw form without me rambling. But again, I wanted to kind of share my own thoughts on this topic, and I'm excited, man. I hope it's not too long of a wait. We're still waiting for the next Skate game as well, which I'm like, again, they're doing kind of something similar. They have a lot of community involvement where they're, you know, a lot of the communities kind of play testing it, and they're taking a lot of feedback and building it. So hopefully that ends up being a great game as well. And hopefully EA can find, you know, some firmer footing with some of the games. And hopefully they do this with their sports games too. Like, man, NHL, I'm a huge hockey guy. I'm Canadian. It's been lacking. Okay. It's been lacking. But yeah, what do you guys think? Battlefield, you know, the future of it, you know, from what has been told in this video that EA posted and the little bit of gameplay, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully we see more of this sooner than later. Whenever we do, I'll let you guys know here on the channel. So keep locked. Till the next one, friends. Game on. Catch you guys later. Hey, you! What are you doing? on, join the skeleton army. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow might never come. The earth is gonna fade, that's inevitable. The next second of your life's not even promised, so you better think about where you're going, and you might as well just join the skeleton army. Plus, we do kind of like you a little bit, so it'd be nice to see you around here. But if you don't want to, hey, your loss. See you later.